Alright guys, welcome back to the channel again. I'm going to go ahead and kick off my video series of all my modification work, and I figured I might as well work my way from the outside in. And we're going to go with aesthetics first, since all these aesthetics probably added about 5 horsepower to the car. Definitely painting the cobra white in the front, that definitely put another at least 3 horsepower in there, but nah, just kidding. But yeah, that's a little touch I made of my own there, a little customization. I have another cobra, it's a regular chrome colored cobra, which if I get tired of the white look, then I'll just put it back on. But I kind of want to go for the yin and the yang, the black and the white look, either it is or it isn't, it's either black or it's white. And yeah, there's the chin spool on the front, and the black on white Rovos Durban wheels on the side. And you can see those drilled and slotted rotors in there. Those are Bear or Radisport brake setup, and they look pretty good too, shining through those Rovos. And of course, got the window tint in, 19%. Strip across the windshield, on the side windows, back windows as well. Back window, rather, not windows. And there's those Rovos in the back. And as you can see there, I also customized the centerpiece, which came in 3 pieces. I went ahead and this outer ring comes out and that R is separate. Took those out, laid them all out on all 4 wheels and painted them white. Hit them with a clear coat, so that way when I wash it, it won't wash the white off and it'll be easier to clean. Then onto the back, got the black Cobra lettering in the bumper. I installed that myself as well. And as some of you may know or may not know, the 99 and 01 Cobras came with the amber taillights as well. I actually thought about getting a cheap set of Raxiums and taking those off and putting them in bubble wrap, because them dang things are going for $1 to $2 grand on eBay now. Crazy, I don't know why. But yeah, that's pretty much for appearance / aesthetic modification work that I have done to this car. Like I said, I'm going to keep it as original as possible, and that's just such a nice side view of those staggered wheel setup there. Those Rovers are 18" by 10.5 in the rear and 18 by 9 in the front. And really the only other thing that shows aesthetically on the outside is these Magnaflow tips, which I kind of maybe give away my next mod a little bit for my next video. And but yeah, I mean, oh, I forgot one more thing, the carbon fiber Shorty antenna. You gotta do that too, that's a good thing to do on these new edges. And yeah, inside the car, as you can see, all original interior. Seat bolsters looking really good on that. That's rare you see a seat bolster in that kind of condition. But yeah, everything pretty well original in this interior. With the exception of, I guess, well, for one, we got the T56 Magnum in this car now, which I'll explain that and go over that in another video. As you can obviously see, the 6th gear in reverse in the upper right hand corner. That's a little different from obviously a stock 99 to 01 Cobra, which came with the Tremec 3650 transmission. I think the earlier version of the 99s came with the T45. I'm not sure. I'm almost certain, but not 100% certain. But yeah. And the only other thing interior-wise I changed was this whole entire outer gauge pod assembly. I put a fuel gauge over here and a boost gauge over here, so I can monitor, make sure my boost lines and everything's all intact. Because I make up to about 14 pounds as a car at the most, but most I ever see on the street is around 10 to 12. When you get in that kind of boost with this car with the 410 rear end, it gets interesting. And yeah, I got this guy here. I also data log some info on this, such as battery voltage. That monitors my alternator and battery health. It'll tell me if either one's failing, so I can get the car stopped at an appropriate time before I go lean and blow my motor. And it also monitors my intake air temps, and it monitors my coolant temperatures, basically keeping everything in check, making sure everything's together and in sync and in tune with each other. And then you got the dummy gauges here, which, you know, you got the oil pressure and your dummy gauge for your battery, and then the coolant gauge, which, you know, the reason I say dummy gauge is because it's not as direct as this handheld is. I can have 125 degree coolant temperature, and that thing will still be buried on clear past the sea like that when I'm driving down the road. And finally, it catches up. So it's good to have these, you know, specific and, you know, down to the T gauges like this, because it shows you everything in real time, and, you know, helps you monitor the car's health while you're driving and make sure nothing's getting messed up on the car. And you know, along with fuel pressure, since we're on we have the fuel system along with that fuel pressure. As you can see, there's a second pressure gauge up here on the block that goes to the Y-split to the return style fuel system that I had purchased from Lethal Performance. It's a Division X system. It is return style. As you can see, it comes off of this Y-split. One line goes in this rail, and the other line comes around into this rail over here, Division X fuel rails. And down in the back area, in the back round, you can kind of see them purple injectors. Those are ID 1050X injectors on that fuel system. It goes back to the tank with two Walboro 255 liter per hour in-tank pumps. And yeah, it's the benefit of that return style system, from what I've read up on, is you always have fresh fuel coming in from the tank that's cooler, revolving around through these fuel rails all the time in a circular motion, because it's returning to the tank, hence the return style system. So it keeps cooler fuel in these rails to go into these injectors. The fuel's not riding up here and sitting here waiting to be taken in the whole time. It's constantly moving, like I said. And it also allows for whenever you have like a greater demand for more fuel to the motor, it's right there flowing all the time. So it just pulls it right now, and it's more responsive and better for, you know, your motor overall, I guess, for better throttle response and whatnot. And as I mentioned, it is the Division X system. And we'll get down on the ground here for a minute to show you that guy there. That's up toward the front of the car here. You can see my long tubes there, but that guy right here, I'll point it out here real quick so we know what we're talking about. Right here is actually the fuel filter for this system, believe it or not. And there's some of the lines going to and from intake and return. The one with the fuel filter on it is obviously going to be the one going to the motor, because you want to catch any kind of debris that might possibly be in there before it gets to the engine and to the fuel rails. And then it returns to this line here, back to the tank. Always flowing, always going. And speaking of always flowing and always going, I figured show you that how that fuel system is flowing. It's pressurized there. A little bit of a startup there with my fuel system knob regulates around, it looks like it's around 31 or 2 psi. And yeah, we'll do a little drive-a-roo here. Some other dead giveaways in my video here might be that whooshing sound you hear in the background. That's a open face blow-off valve, which I'll go over that in another one of my videos also. If we ever get the hell out of here, we'll go drive. Okay, we're getting out of here. And here we go. Still holding steady. And we're gonna go for it. I was so sick. coming with my videos too. So yeah, guys, I mean, there you have it. Those were, I started this video with the intention of only doing aesthetic and appearance mods, but we always got into the fuel system just from checking the gauges out in the interior. And yeah, stay tuned for more. There's more to come. If you want to see more content on my Cobra and hear more breakdown of my mods and whatnot, you can subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you would, the notification bell, and yeah, we'll see you guys later. All right.